Alright guys, I got off work at 7 a.m. This is going to be the first of 2 gaming conventions that we're going to on the same day here at the Gilly Recreational Center. So it's going to be exciting. Alright guys, so we're leaving the Atari enthusiast group convention. Typically very small. Vendors are starting to trickle in at 11 o'clock in the morning when they were supposed to be here at 9. Vendor setup is at 9. Doors open at 10. They need to get their shit together. I'll probably vend this convention next year. But we're starting an hour and 15-minute drive north to Mansfield, Ohio for the GAT Games, Anime, and Toys. I don't know about this one. Everything smelled like pee. And all the games were like dirty. But we did pick up a couple things, and I'll show you those when we get back to the game room. So on to Mansfield.
common.
What's going on, guys? Look who I ran into. The mysterious, the man, the myth, the legend, the CGU from our... He's always on our chats. Hav G's, Tight White, all you guys, man. He won the Smash JT giveaway. So there is your best camera work ever, your Smash JT shirt, free of charge from Smash JT. Awesome. And we are throwing in a Song of the Deep shirt because it is year of the PlayStation. So congratulations, my friend. I gotta get him back. He's running his booth. So we'll see you guys back at the game room.
By chance, do you have like any more PS1 games?
That's a good question. I am willing to bet that that's it, unless we have some in here. Yeah, and if you can look at anything in here on, you're welcome to do that. It's really more of a display than it is to go out.
Is this Mario Kart, or is that the arcade one?
It's Mario Kart R. It's a homebrew. So they removed Toad and added a new character, Kirby, and all the courses are redone. All the courses? All the courses are redone. Yeah. Cool. All of them are like fan-based games. Except for this one, Star Fox 2, which wasn't released, but you have to homebrew it as well.
Thank you.
These all sort of the same price, or are they individually priced?
They're all
or?
$6 a piece?
4 for 20 on mix match.
Alright guys, so we are leaving the Games, Anime, and Toys Convention over in that building right there. I know you can see it. Ran into CGU. That was awesome seeing him. He drove 4 hours to come to this convention, and looks like he was doing pretty well over there, man. He had a TurboGrafx, Super Nintendo, a bunch of Nintendo games and stuff. So CGU, if you're watching this, hope you're doing well at the convention. We're gonna head home now. We got an hour drive home. That's sort of a bummer, but we'll get there eventually, and we'll get back into the game room. Bought some very interesting Dreamcast items and a birthday present, a Nintendo 64 birthday present for me. So you'll have to wait at least an hour, because that's how long it's going to take us to get home. See you back at the game room. Okay, wow, okay. So it's been more than an hour. I worked 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. Got off Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Then went to the Atari Group convention at 10, and then drove an hour to Mansfield to go to the Ohio Games, Anime, and Toys convention. So we'll do a quick recap of the Atari enthusiast computer group of Columbus guys, of their convention. Then we'll talk about the other convention. So the Atari Group convention, I've been going to that for years, man. It's the smallest convention I've ever been to. It usually fits like within the room here, right? It's very small. You could do like 6 spins around the dance floor in 20 minutes, and you're off the yard sales or whatever you want to do with your Saturday, which is nice. It's one of the best parts about it is it's small. You can go in there quick, look at some games, and go out and enjoy the rest of your day. It's also free parking, free admission. Awesome. Usually the all the Atari and Commodore and all those guys, the guys that do that, they've got like a table set up where you can actually play those consoles, which is awesome. You play some of those old consoles, and I like looking at that kind of stuff, but I'm not buy it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna buy a bunch of Atari or Intellivision stuff. I may never go back to the Atari convention again. 2 reasons. One, the Ohio Games, Anime, and Toys Convention was so good that next year I'll probably vend at that one, and I'll spend my entire day up there. 2, it was just sort of unprofessional, the Atari convention. It smelled like pee in there. I don't know if it was some of the senior members, maybe, that smelled like pee. Vendors are supposed to set up at 9, and people are coming in at 10, right? So I kind of meander in there about 10:15 or so, and half the tables, you guys saw it in the footage, half the tables were empty. About 5 minutes after that, vendors started filtering in, and by about 10:45, 11 o'clock, the tables were mostly full, I guess. Some of them weren't, which is sort of concerning. I don't know, like the games looked dingy and dirty. The one guy had a really good table where he had, some really good games. The one was Video Games Express. They have a store in Dayton and Lancaster, Ohio. They're usually pretty professional. But it was like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, had a big bin of games, Xbox games, PlayStation 2 games, and they all look like they've been out in the sun for a month. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you're a flea market reseller bringing your stuff here, or if you just had a bunch of garage sales this year and left all that stuff out. But it was just, one guy had like an Atari flashback hooked up, and then he had like 10 games. There was like mixed match. There was like 2 DS games, an Intellivision game, a couple Sega Genesis games. And it's like, okay. But we did get a couple items. I only spent $13 there, which is pretty good, I guess, considering what I got. So I go up to this guy's table. He's got a stack of games. Nothing's priced. That's the other thing. Nothing is priced. How much is this? What is it? Hold on. Let me check my phone. Let me check my little paper, whatever. Go to dollar store. Buy those little circle stickers. Put it on there and put a price on it. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So I said, are these the same price? Are they individually priced? What's the deal? He goes, well, they're all sort of individually priced. Let me know what you're looking at and I can give you a price. So I saw the Castle Shikigami 3 for the Wii. Not a very common game. Kind of shooting up in price a little bit. It went from $30 to $50 super quick. So I said, how much is it? He goes, $40. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we're kind of dealing with somebody that may know his prices. So I grab a stack of PlayStation games. I start looking through them. And I see some that don't have discs in them. He goes, oh man, some of those don't have discs in them. He starts taking them away. I'm like, I'll just take a look at them. It's cool. So, because I kind of saw the label of a game that I wanted. I said, how much is this case and manual? And he goes, $10. I said, $10 for a PlayStation 1 game, case and manual only? He goes, hold on, let me look it up. Okay. So he looks it up and he goes, I could do $5. And at that point, I'm like, well, I do need the case and the manual because I have it loose disc. So to get the back art and the manual right now, $5, complete that game. Heck yeah, we're doing it. But it's Bushido Blade for the PlayStation 1. And it's in a 2 CD case. See the back art in there. And you can see on the cover it's Bushido Blade 1 and 2. So he either had both of these discs at one point and just put them for convenience in a case that holds 2 games, or he burned some games at one point and put them in there. But either way, we'll get all the goodies out of this crappy case. We'll junk that thing and we'll put it in a proper case. And now we've got Bushido Blade 1 and 2 on the PlayStation complete. And yeah, couldn't be happier, man. I missed out on that during the Tight White trade show. I think Jeff traded that to Sprooch. So I said I spent $13. I spent $5 on that. So I spent $8 on this stuff right here. Next year, I think I'm going to try and work on getting some of my Nintendo games boxed. But we've got Donkey Kong Classics. Got the manual for that. So I just need the box. And then we picked up a very nice condition Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. It comes in this, I've always called these penny bags. I don't know what their proper name is, but if you guys can tell, it comes with like the registration card. There's a poster in there. That's the Nintendo Power advertisement there that's yellow. So very excited to get that. And of course I've got the game, so I just need the box. I've been waiting for a box for Ninja Turtles 2 to come up on eBay for a long, long time. So, happy to have those. Throw them in the collection. Spent 13 bucks. I'm like, man, this is going great. Already been to one convention. Didn't spend anything to get in. Only spent 13 bucks. Got some cool stuff. On to the next one, right? So, it was like an hour and 15 minutes, actually. So, we drive up to Mansfield, and the Ohio Gaming, Anime, and Toy Convention. It was awesome. You know, it was awesome to see the Funko Pops and the Pokemon little figures, and some guy I think bought a big box of Zoids, which I was like 5 minutes too late on. And yeah, it was a good time. I met CGU, which was awesome. Gave him his T-shirt, said he won. I said, "Do you watch Smash JT?" He's like, "I don't even know what a Smash JT is." No, I'm just kidding. He was very appreciative, but he was running a booth, so I didn't really have a lot of time to talk to CGU on camera. I did go over afterwards and wish him the best of luck and hope I see him next year. And thanks for his support on YouTube from all of us. So CGU, you're the man. Lady that was taking the money at the counter, she had a stack of Xbox games. Not really into Xbox that much, you guys know that. But they were $5 each, so I was like, I'll take a look. So for $5, we picked up Tales of Vesperia for the Xbox 360. Complete. Very nice condition. I'll probably never play this, but I will keep this to either flip it or use it as trade bait or something else, because I think this game still goes for like 15 to 18 bucks. So I might throw it up on Craigslist for 15 and see what happens. If not, it's trade bait, you know. People love the Tales series. Oh, watch the glare. All right. So I paid, you know, kind of went to the left a little bit. And these guys, they run a store or something. And they had just a bunch of like homebrews and ROM hacks and fan translation games and all that stuff, you know, actually on cartridges. It was kind of overwhelming to look, because you didn't, like, we know the games that we know, right? Like, we know the original Nintendo and Genesis, but when we're looking at, you know, Super Mario World on a red translucent cart for the Genesis, we're like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I talked to him for a little bit. It was awesome. You guys saw he had a bunch of Dreamcast stuff that people had put stuff on Dreamcast, on discs, that you could play in your Dreamcast, because the Dreamcast is awesome like that. And basically it was collections, right? All the Nintendo games, Game Boy games, Sega Master System games, Super Nintendo games. They were $20 each, or he had 2 for $30, so they ended up being $15 each. So next year when I go, I'll probably just buy the rest of them. He had a Dreamcast set up, and he was like, "Hey, you want to test it out and try it? Pop it in, boom, there you go. You can play it." He said the menus are a little different for each of the compilation discs, but once you learn to navigate the menus and, you know, the options menus and things like that, it works pretty good. So the first one we picked up was Neo Geo 50 Plus. I'll never own a Neo Geo. I'll never own any Neo Geo games. If I ever find one, I'm going to sell it. So this is the more practical way for me to have Neo Geo games. And, you know, they went all out, man. They made, you know, cover art and back art. And on the inside, the disc, you know, it's got a little sticky on the disc, and then it's got a list of the games. And it's got 50, it actually has 58 games, 51 American games, and then another 7 Japanese text games. I don't know if they're, I don't even know if they're in Japanese. I didn't even get that far. But I popped it in, started playing Aero Fighters 2. So boom, so that does work. Now I've sort of read about these things that sometimes the frame rates don't work right, but there's spots in the options menu, the settings menus, where you can adjust it. So there's got to be a way to fix it or clean it up a little bit. So that's awesome. And when I bought this, I was like, man, we can stream that, because we can hook my Dreamcast up to the Elgato. So that's exciting. When I saw this one, I was like, this one is definitely coming home with me. It is the TurboGrafx 16 disc for the Dreamcast. I don't know how many games are on here. guys, because it doesn't have a list in there, but it's got American games, Japanese games, games I've never heard of, and it does have the essentials. You know, your TurboGrafx 16 essentials. Legendary Axe, Kadash, Bonk, Splatterhouse, Blazing Lasers, the Star Soldier, Final Soldier series, you know, Splatterhouse. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, it looks like it's got a ton of games on there. It's set up to where it's done alphabetically, so you hit A and then you scroll down like 4 pages. You hit B, you scroll down like 3 or 4 pages, and yeah, I don't know. I was playing Final Soldier last night, which is a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up, and it did freeze up after me about halfway through the second level. So I don't know if I was playing. So sometimes it's got like different versions of the same game. So like Last Soldier US 2.4, Last Soldier US 2.53P or something. So it's got multiple versions of the same game. So I'm wondering if you have to sort of find the correct version of the game, you know, that'll run. But so far so good. I just had that one issue. Could have been the Dreamcast. My Dreamcast could have frozen up. So I don't know. But like I said, so far so good. And if these things continue to work and they're easy to stream with, next year when we go, we'll definitely buy the other ones, the Game Boy, Master System, Super Nintendo, and NES version, if not the other ones. He said those two are more susceptible to the frame rate type stuff because the files are bigger or something. So he was trying to explain it to me, but after being up for damn near 19 hours, I was like, okay. So these conventions were on the 26th of August. The 24th was my birthday. And I want to thank everybody that wished me a happy birthday on Facebook, man. That was overwhelming. And I appreciate the support. I love you guys. But I saw this sitting on the guy's table. Ogre Battle 64, which is an Atlas title, as Nintendo 13 would say. So I'm like, hey, I saw the price on it. But I was like, hey, man, how much is this one right here? What do you got on that one? And he was like, $60. Which is about what a copy of Ogre Battle 64 goes for. But then I started my normal bullshit, and I was like, oh, you tested it? Did you check it to make sure it's a legit cart? And he's like, oh, well, I didn't check it, but I know it's a legit cart, and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, so I pulled the game out to get a better examination, and I saw that back there. Boom, the manual. So I was like, cool, do you happen to have security bits or whatever? And he had a little toolbox, got his security bits out. We opened it up, verified the board, 100%, you know, legit copy of Ogre Battle 64 to add to the collection, which is awesome. And we'll go ahead and take this out now. We're not going to keep this. I asked him, I said, do you know where this came from? What video store or gas station or, you know, video game reseller place this came from? If anybody knows where this box came from, let me know, because I'm probably going to keep the box, but I'm not going to keep all that stuff in there. There's the manual right there for Ogre Battle 64. Pretty good condition. Just has a slight dog ear in there, and I can imagine that's from sliding it in and out of the box so many times. But yeah, it looks good. I love this full color manual. So I said, man, got on my phone, started looking. I said, looks like there's one here for $43.99 and one for $41. Is there any way you could do $40? And he was like, yeah, I can't do 40. How about 50? I can meet you in the middle at 50. So I sat there for a while, and you could tell that the buyer had the advantage in this situation. Sometimes the seller has the advantage because they don't have to sell their stuff, right? People that own game stores that sell at conventions, they don't have to sell any of that. They can just take it back to their game store, right, and post it online. But people like us that are just like regular people trying to get rid of our doubles, the buyer sort of has the advantage because those people want to get rid of their stuff and they want the cash. So I countered. I said, man, I gave him the sob story first. I was like, man, I'm trying to get a complete set of Nintendo 64. I'm like 110 away or so. I still got some heavy hitters to go, so I would really like to get this game. Could you do 45? And he was like, sure, dude, no problem. $45. So for $45, we got Ogre Battle 64 for the N64 with the manual. I don't know if I'm going to keep that manual. I might throw that manual up on Craigslist for 20 or $25. And if I can get $25 out of it, then that means I paid $20 for Ogre Battle 64. And I would definitely do that any day. So I'm pretty excited about setting up at that convention next year. I've got 2 plastic totes. It's stuff that doesn't sell on OfferUp or Craigslist. I'm just starting to move into those plastic totes. and put it in the basement. We'll worry about them next year. But had a really great time at OGAT. So thank you to the administrators and volunteers and all the people that helped make that possible. They had a raffle, which was awesome. They had 3 different raffle prizes: one at 1, one at 2, one at 3. The one at 3 was a complete copy of Shenmue 3. I forget what the 2 o'clock one was. The 1 o'clock was Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 8. And I have this suggestion. So, like, if you're going to have that event next year, ask the vendors if they want to donate something for raffle prizes, because I would totally do that. I would donate something for raffle prizes, and yeah, it'd be awesome. And I look forward to filming it and bringing you guys that content. So, guys, that's gonna do it. Got to put all this stuff away now. Have you guys been going to any gaming conventions? What have you been picking up? There it is. There's one for you. Let me know in the comment section down below, and we'll see you next time.